Zach, life beat depression, it's day 729 and I'm feeling fine on a Superhuman Sunday. Are you ready for it? Alright, I'm trying something new. Thanks everybody for being here now, and anyone who's tuning in later. As you know, this is a martial arts or mental health show, focusing on those mental health tools first. First and foremost, every day, I like to start the day off with gratitude. Gratitude going out to everybody tuning in now, also anyone tuning in later. Also want to shout out gratitude to my friends at Same the other day. Gratitude for the fact that Same happens. It was magical, as it always is, and I had an excellent time. Got in a great workout dancing to the sounds of strange weather, and just so many warm, loving people in one place. So super grateful that Same is going on, and if you missed it, hopefully there will be one in another month or so. Stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted. That is where my gratitude is going today. Go ahead and think about your piece of gratitude for today. That'll help put you in that positive mindset. And second tool we're going to talk about is that progress tracking tool. And hello, Lisa, the luminary. Thanks for being here, Lisa. I know you're keeping track of that progress, same way I've been keeping track of that progress every day, that you show up for yourself and you move forward no matter what is trying to slow you down or stop you. It's been 729 days of consecutive progress and success for myself, and let me know how many days. You don't have to. You've been here every day for the last 429. So making progress right alongside with you out there. And so proud of you, Lisa, for fighting forwards for over a year and just crushing those goals, getting stronger every day. So thank you for being an inspiration and for turning up and making progress. So that's that number tool. We talked about gratitude tool as well. And today is a lower intensity active recovery day known as Superhuman Sunday. Call it that because we tap into what feels like the superhuman ability that every single human being has to take control over the nervous system and to empower themselves with tools that can work in any given situation, turning what we consider an automatic nervous system into now a manual nervous system, right? We can take that power back, take that control back. So the way that we're going to do it today, normally we have our high intensity training going, but today it's going to be a lower intensity, and we're going to tune in very much to the breath. We're going to use that breath work tool. There's a tool set there that we're going to tap into. And the first round is going to be 5 minutes long. It's going to be using a calming breath work tool known as diaphragmatic breathing. Second round is going to be an activated breathing tool known as the breath of fire. We're going to link that in with movement as well. That's going to activate the nervous system and pump the stress hormone cortisol, but it's going to do it in a healthy way that builds us up. And then, finally, we're going to take full control back over that somatic experience that we have, over that elevated nervous system. We're going to calm it back down with a brief meditation. Each section is going to be roughly 5 minutes, and there will be a minute in between as well to just readjust and get ready for the next round. So, if you're sticking with us, shout out to Silky One. Thanks for being here as well. If you're sticking with us, we're going to go through all 5 rounds. You will need somewhere comfortable to sit at the end. It could be a carpet or blanket, pillow, or a comfy chair. I've got a little pop-out stool here for myself. And that is it. We're going to tune into the breath. We're going to keep it low intensity. And at the same time, we're going to train some martial arts. We're going to practice some fundamentals, jabs and cross and things like that. But we're also going to get creative. And today I'm going to incorporate the spinning back fist. Boom. Back fist. Move from both orthodox and southpaw stance. But we're going to go through it slow. Like we mentioned earlier, it's a low-intensity day. Shout out to Master Checo. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate the support, brother. It's a low-intensity day, and the way we'll keep it low-intensity is by letting the breath be our guide. So the way this diaphragmatic breathing tool is going to work, if you haven't done it before, is we're going to place one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly as a guide. And we're going to try and breathe just with the belly. We're going to leave the chest nice and flat. And let the belly expand on that inhale. You can take that deep inhale now through the nose, pushing the belly out, leaving the chest flat, and then long exhale out the mouth. And there's a couple different things that make this diaphragmatic breathing technique effective. One of them is making sure that we chamber that breath, that it's inhaling through the nose to the belly, and then exhaling out of the mouth, making sure we switch between the two. Another one is making sure that we expand the belly and we keep the chest flat. Another level of effectiveness can be added if we make sure that that exhale is twice as long as the inhale. So we want to slow that exhale down after the inhale. Make sure it's at least twice as long. And then another way that we can make it even more effective, there's levels and levels to this. So much progress can be made in just breath work alone. But another way that we can make it even more effective is by pursing our lips and putting resistance there. So when we exhale out the mouth, don't just exhale with an open mouth, but bring those lips together, purse the lips, and put some resistance in there. That'll further exercise the diaphragmatic breathing muscle, make it stronger, increase lung capacity, increase performance, endurance, and also have a higher calming effect on the nervous system. So all of those things, we're going to stack them. I'll give you guys reminders as we go. We'll stay in tune with the moment. And shout out as well to Katlera and Slayer Ken for crushing 336 days of progress, man. Consecutively, no days off, just killing it out there. So good stuff, Ken. Thank you for sharing that number. And we cover the breathwork tool. So now we talked about the breathwork tool. We're going to link it with martial arts training. We're going to link it with shadowboxing training. And we're going to be practicing from Muay Thai stance. That's that nice balanced stance you guys are very familiar with. If you're not familiar with that stance, you can check out a stance guide on saclifeofficial.com at the bottom of the martial arts for mental health class section. There are pictures there with guides to show you how to position your weight, where to place your hands, your feet, the angle of your feet, so that you can be fully prepared for any one of our sessions. And shout out as well to Carm Anderson. Thanks for being here. So we're going to pop into Muay Thai stance, and the way we're going to link this breath with movement and martial arts training is on that deep inhale through the nose to the belly, we're going to assume a defensive stance. So as you take that inhale in, bring those fists up to guard, tuck that chin, right, and assume your defensive stance. On the exhale, we're going to be moving forward. So the breath is going to be our guide here for pace. We're going to keep that pace under control, keep it nice and slow, and limit our strikes to about 2 to 3 strikes total, so we can keep that pacing nice and slow, nice and steady. And the goal here is just to flow fluidly through those forms, through those striking patterns. We'll be building muscle memory along the way, but we're also keeping that intensity low by making sure we stick to the breath and let the breath be our guide. And shout out to Luca. Thanks for being here. Luca and Claire apparently tuning in on Luca's screen name out there. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. So we're doing low intensity Superhuman Sunday. It's one of my favorite days. And Luca said happy Superhero Sunday. Happy Superhero Sunday to you guys too. So we talked about the breathwork tools. We talked about the rounds. We're going to get right into it. Go ahead and assume Muay Thai position. Let's get some calming music going. I'm going to start this timer, and we're going to start, like we said, with that calming, deep diaphragmatic breathing tool. So just to get it started, let's try with the hands as a guide. One over the chest, one over the belly. Lucas said, are you still sick? No, I'm all better, buddy. I'm recovering better every day. So one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Let's take that deep breath into the belly. Expand that belly. Hold on to it for a moment, and then long and slow. Exhale out that mouth. Make the exhale twice as long as the inhale. One more time. Deep in through the nose to the belly. Hold that breath. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. This is our pace. This is what we want to follow for that movement. So now on the next one, take that deep breath into the belly, but assume your defensive position in Muay Thai. Guard high, chin tucked, squared up with that visualized target. We're going to long and slow exhale as we twist in to the number one shot, that jab. That straight jab, small step forwards, rotating on the ball of foot, extending that fist forwards, turning it over, landing on large two knuckles. We want to end the breath right at the end of that strike there. So if you haven't exhaled completely, exhale completely right there at the end of that strike, and then deep inhale back, linking that movement and that return to defensive stance with the breath as well. Long exhale forwards. Push through pursed lips. And extend that fist into the face of that visualized target. Keep the guard high on the opposite side. It could be chin level, head level, either one's preference. And deep inhale back. Guard high by the brow line. Chin tucked, curled hips, curled shoulders. Long and slow exhale forwards. Exhale there, deep inhale back to the belly. Now we're going to add in the cross. We're going to flow right through the jab and cross on one breath. Twisting through the center, keeping the head on that center line, keeping nice and balanced, that balanced Muay Thai position. Finishing that breath right on target, and deep inhale back to the belly. Hold that breath in the belly for a moment, long and slow exhale through strikes. Remember, it's all about the angles and the rotation. So you want to keep that balance nice and centered, head centered, feet evenly spaced apart, and just twist through. Let the power come from that rotation. Twist through and land on target with those large two knuckles. Deep inhale back. Guard high, long and slow exhale through jab cross. Fully exhale there, and deep inhale back. Notice the foot rotation as well on each strike, turning through the ball of the foot, keeping the heel slightly raised. Deep inhale back to defensive position. And we're going to start moving into an advanced technique, the spinning back fist. So for this one, from our Muay Thai position, we're going to step across over into a narrow stance, and then we're going to rotate on the ball of both feet, twisting ourselves all the way around, following through with the shoulders, rotating 360 degrees, and we're going to extend that power arm, that power fist that's normally our cross, all the way out through the face of that opponent. Deep inhale all the way back as we rotate back. And we're back to stance, nice and square. So we want to link this with the breath and keep it slow and low as well. So go as nice and easy on yourself. Let's go back to the jab cross for a moment. Deep inhale to the belly. In guard, long and slow exhale through jab cross. Right down that center line. Deep inhale back to defensive position. Guard high, and now we're going to step across on that exhale. Exhale through this whole thing. Step across. Rotate all the way around. Rotate on the balls of both feet here. Guard high on that opposite hand. Twisting through the shoulders and extending that fist through at the end of that breath. Deep inhale back to the belly. As we spin back around, staying nice and balanced. Remember, balance is key here. Keep that chin tucked, head on the center line. Everything's nice and evenly placed. Long and slow exhale as you step across and rotate on both feet. All the way around, extending that fist for a rear spinning back fist. Deep inhale back. Rotating back to your balanced position. Hold that breath in the belly. Long and slow exhale through spinning back fist. Sink on those knees a little bit. That will help with that rotation. And deep inhale back. Keeping the chin tucked and on the center line is what will help you maintain balance as well. Long and slow exhale through spinning back fist. And deep inhale back. Return to that jab and cross, long and slow. Keep it nice and simple. If you want to make it more complicated or challenging, you can switch over to southpaw position. Deep inhale back to defense. Long and slow exhale through. Spinning back fist, deep inhale back. And we're back on track. That's the end of our calming breathwork routine. Shout out to Zen Thai Martial Arts. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support. That's the end of our calming, flow-based routine. And if you check in right now on your system, on your heart rate, on your energy level, on your stress level, you should feel that calming, peaceful state that we get from that breathwork tool. Now we're going to amp it up, but we're going to do it in a healthy way that builds up our heart, our lungs, and our physical health, as well as our mental health, with the yogic breath of fire. So for Claire out there, we all have to show up for ourselves at our skill level and take into consideration our environment, our surroundings, our state of being. So Claire, we already know that high intensity breath is a bad idea. Please don't do the high intensity breath. Stick with that slow breathing technique. Go nice and slow and continue on that first session. And for anybody out there, make sure you're cleared by a physician or doctor before you start any exercise program. That way you know you won't put yourself through too much stress or push too hard. We certainly want to avoid that when it comes to mental health training. So, for the yogic breath of fire, what we're going to do here is we'll practice that breath first. The way we do it is powerful, short breath, out the mouth through pursed lips, and then a passive inhale back through the nose. So we're pushing that breath out with force, and we're letting the breath just bounce back through the nose. So powerful out the mouth, very short, and then just a passive breath back. It's not a deep breathing, it's just a quick pulse and a rebound on that inhale. Shout out to Shazgar, thank you for being here, appreciate you. So we're doing the yogic breath of fire right now. Each pulse out is going to be 1 rep. We're going to start with 20 reps. and see how this affects your nervous system. And we'll take a brief break in between each round to check in on ourselves, and by the end we'll link it with some jabs and crosses to improve speed and muscle memory there as well. So starting with that yogic breath of fire, we're starting with 20 breaths. Each breath out is 1 rep, 20 reps, in 3, 2, 1, go. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Long, slow exhale out the mouth. And check in on you, check in on your stress level. Make sure you're not lightheaded or dizzy. Those are signs of overreaching, so you want to slow that breath work down. Shout out as well to Summit Finance and Frademu, thank you for being here. We're getting back into that yogic breath of fire. If you're feeling good, we're going for 40 reps this time, 40 breaths of fire. 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. And check in on you. See where your energy level is. It should start picking up with this breathwork tool. It's an activating breath. So now we're going to start to link it in with movement in just a moment, but we're going to keep going for a bit with just that powerful breathwork tool and make sure we're feeling all right. So we're going for another 40 breaths of fire here. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling ready, in 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Long exhale out the mouth. Check in on you, see where that energy level is. Shout out to Jay, thanks for tuning in. And now we're going to link it with movement. We're going to link it with little jabs and crosses, just short ones, right? Toss from the shoulders, light jabs and crosses here down that center line. Making sure we turn the fist over, keep that thumb tucked, proper form, and let the large 2 knuckles kind of whip in the face of that depression dummy, that visualized target. So we're going to link the pulse on each breath with the whip of the punch. So it's going to look like, it'll look just like that at your pace, but keep it steady, no breaks in between. We're going for 20 breath of fire punches in 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in the nose to the belly. Check in on you, long exhale out the mouth. Make sure you're not dizzy or lightheaded, and we're going to go for 40 breath of fire punches now in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Deep breath in the nose to the belly. Long exhale out the mouth. You should feel that energy picking up. That's part of the tool. I'm going to get back into it with another 40 breath of fire punches in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Deep breath in the nose to the belly. Long exhale out the mouth. Check in on you. Make sure you're feeling all right, not dizzy, not lightheaded. Shout out to Lama. 1107, appreciate you. Long exhale. Recenter. We're going for another 40 breath of fire punches in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Deep breath in the nose to the belly. Long exhale out the mouth. That's where we're going to end that high intensity session. I want you guys to check in on your system right now and see where your heart rate is. See where your energy level is. It should be elevated. We should have an elevated heart rate, maybe a light sweat going, activated feeling, and a lot of somatic symptoms that are very similar to a panic attack. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this state of being that we're in, and we're going to take full control over that automatic nervous system with a brief meditation. So, find yourself somewhere comfy to sit, and you got 30 seconds before we pop in for this final session here. It's going to be running a little over 5 minutes. Just ignore the bell when you hear it. It means nothing. Time is relative. Make sure you're staying hydrated. And we're going to get into that comfy position. Shout out to Matt with Hats. Thanks for being here, brother. we're gonna start with that breath work tool again, but this time we're gonna modify it a bit. We're gonna start with just the diaphragmatic breathing, and then we're gonna make it more effective with some proven 4, 7, 8 breath and a few other things. So, one hand over chest, one hand over belly. Take note of how you're feeling right now at this moment. You still feel that activated, energized feeling, and we're gonna take full control over that. Sit up nice and straight, comfy position, head up, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. Let's take that deep breath in through the nose to the belly. And hold. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. Letting the belly fall with that breath. Deep inhale again through the nose to the belly. Hold. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. Now we're going to make this tool more and more effective as we go. One thing we can do is you can close your eyes and tune into the breath. So really kind of visualize that breath entering your nose, filling your belly, and then exhaling through the mouth through pursed lips, letting that belly fall. Just visualize that breath leaving. So with our eyes closed, let's visualize that breath entering through the nose, filling the belly, deep. Hold on to it. Then long and slow. Visualize that breath leaving the body. Now we're going to make it more effective with the 4, 7, 8 method. So this is going to be a 4-second slow inhale to the belly. We're going to hold on to that breath for 7 seconds, and then we're going to exhale for 8 seconds together. Let's do it together. Close eyes, visualize that breath, and 4 seconds in, nice and slow. Hold. Eight-second exhale. Remember, purse the lips, breathe slow. Deep, again, 4 seconds in to the belly. Hold on to it for 7. 8-second exhale. 4 seconds in again through the nose to the belly and hold for 7. 8-second exhale here. Now we can make this even more effective by visualizing that breath as a ball of light. And keep your eyes closed and visualize a ball of light in front of you. What that light is your power to give yourself peace at any given moment. So what I want you to do is, as you take that deep inhale in, visualize drawing that light into your body and filling your body with that light. As you hold on to it for those 7 seconds, kind of tap into, let yourself feel what you're feeling in the moment. Ask yourself how you're feeling in the moment. Visualize that light filling your body. So we're going to get back into it. Deep breath in, 4 seconds through the nose. Draw in that light to the belly. Hold on to it and sit with it for 7 seconds. As you sit with it, visualize it filling your body to the edges of your fingertips, to the edges of your toes. Long and slow exhale at 8 seconds. Deep breath in again, 4 seconds to the belly. Draw in that light. Hold on to it. And as you sit with it, ask yourself how you feel in this moment. Eight-second exhale. Drawing that power of peace to the belly. 4 seconds. Hold on to it for 7. And remind yourself you're the one doing the work. You're the one who brought yourself here to this state of mind, to this state of body. 8-second exhale. that pattern. You don't have to use the hands if you don't need them. As a guide, you can put them in a more comfortable position. Ignore the bell. 4-second inhale deep to the belly. Hold on to it for 7. And ask yourself how you feel in this moment. 8-second exhale here out the mouth. Through pursed lips. You can visualize blowing that stress away, blowing away unnecessary expectations. Maybe expectations you put on yourself, expectations you feel from others. Just visualize and imagine what it would be like to let them go, to just live without that expectation. Blow it away with that breath. Let's reset. 4 seconds into the belly. Hold on to it for 7. Ask yourself how you feel. Second exhale those expectations. Four seconds in again through the nose to the belly. Hold for 7. Second exhale here. 4 seconds in again through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. This is your power of peace. 8-second exhale here. Continue on that breathing pattern, and we're just going to breathe together for another 2 or 3 rounds. No instruction. Just keep that 4, 7, 8 pattern going, and let yourself be in the moment. Let yourself feel what you're feeling in the moment. 4 seconds in, 7-second hold, 8-second exhale. Together. Time. And that is the end of our Superhuman Sunday active recovery session. Hopefully you guys are feeling those calming and euphoric, peaceful vibes that you can get from this breathwork tool and the other tools that we've shared on this show. Remember, as an individual, you gotta find the tools that work for you. We all handle things in different ways, click with different tools, we vibe in different ways. So try and find the ones that work for you and roll them into a super effective routine so you can give yourself that best fighting chance against moving forwards. That best fighting chance of moving forwards against anything that's trying to stop you. Shout out to James F. Cargo and weightlifting. Thank you. No, weight fling. My bad. Thank you for joining. Appreciate your support. And if you're having a good experience with this class, please do let the world know about it on Sack Life Daily in the comment section on YouTube. All these shows go up there right after we're done filming here, so that you guys can take them at your own discretion, on your own time, and anonymously or not anonymously, it is up to you. I'm just making them available and sharing my self-care routine in hopes that we can have a positive effect on one another, and in that way, hopefully, be the change that I want to see in the world. we can all make that happen together. So until next time, thank you so much for being a part of this, and I will catch you same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sack man out.